lot of people are doing with OnlyFans.
Oh
Because
yeah. I mean that's media content creation.
absolutely.
That's actually the tier. That's the highest tier of content creation, I would say,
And
in terms of monetary value.
Absolutely, bro. People post like their figures, how much they're making, and it's like hundreds of. I don't want to say hundreds of thousands.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Blackatalyst podcast. I'm Kyle.
I'm Chris.
And today we're going to be talking about market opportunities. I feel like there's two segments when it comes to opportunities right now, especially when you're trying to get rich, get money. There's like entry-level opportunities, I feel like, where some people are now starting to see success. We're going to get into some of those areas. And then there's like wealth building, like where people are really making billions and billions of dollars. So we're going to touch on those two areas. And then obviously we got the business news that we're going to sprinkle in there. So to start off with, this week was a huge week in terms of bank earnings. The banks was going crazy. My thing is, how are the banks making money? Because there's no way. It said that the 5 largest banks reported $23 billion in Q3 in profits.
I mean, that's what banks do. Like, in the worst of the worst, they get bailed out, and in the best of the best, they're booming. So we're in a kind of transitionary period between those two things right now. I mean, the corona hit everybody. The banks are going to be the first to recover. So on one hand, this is kind of like a sign that things are heading back to normal. Banks doing what they do best, cashing out. But also, like, they're always going to be the first one to make money when tables turn. And I think they're just the start of a larger trend for other companies to come in Q3.
The thing is, what I realized when I was reading an article about it. It said that the reason that, because Goldman, they had triple the amount of money in this quarter than they had before. So I'm thinking,
wait, in Q2?
Yeah, in Q2.
But that's corona, right?
But the thing is, they still beat the expected revenue in Q2. But they tripled. Like, normally, like, each quarter, I think that they said, like, yo, they actually, like, there's no reason that should have happened.
Well, here's the finesse with this whole corona thing. So, corona happens. Everyone's, like, analysts especially are like, oh, every company's going to have bad reportings. So they lower their expectations, like, drastically. And then, like, a company like Goldman beats expectations, even though expectations were already super low. And then going forward, they're like, okay, like, we're going to revise our expectations upward. It's like called the upward revision. But maybe they still do it, like, cautiously because they know, like, whether the effect of the pandemic hasn't shown yet, or they don't want to, like, overestimate how bad things could be. So then they go ahead and beat it again, but this time by even more.
So basically, this is how I'm saying. It's basically like a fake finesse. Because once people see, like, oh, they beat earnings, but it's like the earnings is really tailored for what's going on, which is really not wrong, but it's still not right.
Nah, yeah, absolutely, dude. Like, every company that's been reporting, it's always important to look at the revisions and analyst reports, at least in this day and age. Because when you see, like, there's been 11 downward revisions, that means, like, there was this expectation, and then they boom, 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 11 times.
Every time. So low key, they really didn't hit the original expectation.
Yeah, it's like you
set
the bar super low for me.
Obviously, I'm gonna knock it up. Oh, that's
exactly.
fair. But what I'm seeing too right here is they're saying that a big cause for why some of the banks, because Bank of America missed revenue. They missed their revenue by a decent amount, and that's why their stock had went down. But they said that J.P. Morgan, their expected revenue, they blew it out the box basically. And I think that one of the reasons was because they focus more on trading. While Bank of America actually lowered trading.
That's definitely the main thing.
So, like, literally, J.P. Morgan increased trading 30%, and Bank of America dropped trading about 4 or 5%. And Bank of America missed revenue, but J.P. Morgan hit revenue. So I'm thinking it has something to do with the fact that they said, matter of fact, we're not even going to do what else we're doing. We're just going to trade.
Makes sense, too, because, like, with stimulus money, people got a little bit extra cash in their pockets. Kind of, not really. Obviously, the pandemic hurt a lot of pockets. But there's definitely been a huge increase in the amount of people who are saying, like, I'm going to try trading. Like,
that's a fact.
I'm going to at least try it. Like, E-Trade, Charles Schwab's, they report, like, tomorrow or Thursday is what it'd be whenever you see this. They're going to say the exact same thing. Like, due to the increase in the volume of trading, and so it's 100% due to trading, in my opinion.
Nah, it has to be too, because they say even Robinhood, like since the pandemic started, Robinhood was like getting millions and millions of accounts. But you know why I feel like that happened too? Because as soon as the pandemic hit, they were like all over social media. Everybody saw like the stock market go down, and people were seeing like 40K, like positive. They're seeing like 150% because since the whole market went down and fixed itself because of the stimulus, they're mad traders that traded for the first time that's seeing literally 5K return. And they're like, yo, what's going on? They post on their Snapchat story like, yo, I'm no longer working a 9 to 5. It's like, yo, bro, come on. This is your first trade ever and you're done? You're quitting? You're never going to work again just because you got one successful trade?
Yeah.
Relax, guy.
Especially, like, it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
For sure.
Those things, I mean, I can see something like that happen again maybe in like 20, 30,
Yeah, and I'm going to have
40
money
years,
next time it happens.
without a doubt. But, like, yeah, if you caught that whole dip and pop up again, then extremely lucky.
Bro, people like literally tripling their money, bro. Putting in like 40K, coming out like 120K.
What's his name? Ackerman. You know,
Bill?
My boy Bill, bro. He turned. I forget the exact number. I was just reading about this the other day. It was like.
Oh, I saw it too.
He turned. Let's just say it was like. I think it was like 300 million to like.
Was it ridiculous? Like 26. It wasn't like.
It was something million to something billion.
Yeah, it was a lot of billion though.
And
it
he
wasn't
did
that small.
He did it as a result of going long on a bunch of companies right after everything dipped. Genius. And he was ready for the drop. That's why you gotta get into this type of work now.
Oh my gosh.
27 million into 2.6 billion.
Bill Get Money Ackman, bro. Because the thing, I remember I saw this and what they said was, yo, like Bill Ackman, he goes on like what CNBC or something like that, right? And he's like basically putting on a show. He's like, you know, like the market, like this corona environment is done. It's done. All the stocks are done for, right? So like once everybody started panicking, he already had what he needed set up, and he just capitalized crazy. That's why they said that he like, it was a term they used that's not coming to my mind right now, similar to market manipulation, but not, might have been actually market manipulation, but similar term basically, saying like, yo, what he did was wrong, and you can't come out and like put so much fear into like the public, especially on such a large platform, and when you're so prestigious, like you're basically like fixing the market for you to do what you got to do. He was like, yeah, that's just how I felt.
I mean, that's what my boy Presidente over at Barstool does. Like, he's a big time day trader. He'll be like live streaming. I think it's called like Davey Day Trades, and he'll say like, "Oh, I'm really liking this company. Buy." Everyone who watches Barstool, which is a lot of people, is like, "My boy Davey's doing it." Like, I'm
gonna do it too.
And so he also, to some degree, probably not as much as Bill Ackman, but has some power to like move a market. Is that wrong? I don't know.
I mean, if he really liked that, man, it
but
can't be wrong.
If I was in that position, I would do the same thing. I'm just telling the viewers what I like.
That's a fact.
If the market moves in my favor afterwards.
But the thing was, he did the opposite of what he said, though. He said listen, get it how you get it, bro. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't do it, because it's hard. When you're in a position, it's hard. Morally, it's very wrong. But it's like, if you already know you can make 2.6 billion, all you gotta do is go on TV and just say what people think already. That's really all he did. People thought that the market was gonna go down. He basically told them, yeah, it's gonna go down. The market went down, and he made money.
I mean, and what else was he supposed to say in that position?
Exactly.
Like, he couldn't have been like...
He didn't even know, though.
Had he told you, yo, get ready to invest, and then think, he can't predict the future. He made a bet. It literally says 27 million. Yeah. So you made a bet. Had he told a bunch of people, yo, get in right now, he could have been responsible for like a bunch of other people losing money.
That's a fact. Now, Bill, he moved tactical. That was a very tactical move.
He's a genius.
And I respect him. I mean, he had a lot of controversy with like that Herbalife short that he did before. Like some wild stuff that he was doing. He shorted something that actually kept on going up, and he lost like billions of dollars for his clients. But other than that, I like Bill.
Yeah, I mean,
very solid guy.
When you in this business, like, you can't get them all right. Like,
That's
you can't catch them all. But
the people think that you get even Warren Buffett can get them all right. You might get a good percentage, but he can't even get them all right. But anyways, let's hop into the next part. Bill Ackman, you're my guy still. I forget the company that you work out, but I respect it. And yeah, so like best industries for beginner entrepreneurs. We're gonna go with this one at a time. First one I had on the list, and I think is the biggest opportunity, is media/content creation. What do you think about that? As an industry for somebody who's like trying right now, like we're doing it too. Like, we're trying to hop in the media space, the content creation space. But I feel like a lot of people right now, with like the influx of YouTube, the influx of TikTok, the influx of like Instagram, people becoming famous. I feel like that's a place that so many people are starting to like get on or get into like a better position. That I feel like it would do it injustice to not put it in the number one spot.
yeah, I mean, the good thing about this space is that there's something for everybody. You got Instagram for those people who want to I mean, it's obvious. It's like a different space. So TikTok is the new one.
Sure.
So there's a lot of dancing. People want to get into that. Maybe flaunting looks. That's fine. That's space
Flaunting
for
your
you.
assets?
Yeah, your assets exactly. And then you got like Twitch for like the gamers. So like there's a little something for everybody. People watch 7.46 billion hours of live stream content in Q3.
Twitch.
I didn't even know they had like stats like that.
Yeah, bro, I saw that random stat. I'm like, yo, 7.46 billion
Look
hours
up
on live stream?
how many years is 1 billion hours?
How many years is 1 billion hours?
I don't even know if someone's asked that before.
Gee, what is that?
So 114,000.
Yeah,
And then
they
it's
have the
7
actual
times,
stat, though.
It's 7 times that, which is like 700.
No, they have the
almost
actual stat, like, on the article, how much years it was. I should probably pull that, too. I don't get what it was. But
so that's got to be
beast,
like
though.
800,000 years
Basically.
worth of content streamed in just the third quarter alone on just Twitch. So definitely a huge space there. That's a absurd
The thing is,
statistic.
people be on Twitch, like, I thought, the way I first viewed Twitch when I first heard of Twitch, and I think that it's largely used for that, is like video game streaming. Like, if you're playing 2K with your boys, or like you're pretty popular, you just go on Twitch and stream it. But now people are using it for debates. Like, this guy's like, all right, guys, hop in my stream. And he's literally like some TikTok guy. He's literally on the stream, like, just arguing with somebody else. He's like, you think police brutality is a big issue? I don't. Like, I mean, that's an example. I don't think he actually said that, but like certain things like that. So I'm like, yo, it might be an opportunity in Twitch too. Like, some guy be having girls come on his Twitch and like, shake some assets, and his viewers like to see it. It's wild. Would I do it? No, but I mean, he's doing what he's doing. So I definitely feel like the media space is really going crazy, and like, especially we were just talking about like TikTok, Instagram, like the fact brand deals, bro. I feel like it's probably the best opportunity because it doesn't take much knowledge. Like, I feel like if you got it, you got it. Like, you hop on your phone, do a little funny skit. If you could dance, do a little dance, whatever it is. People, these cooking TikTok pages, cooking Instagram, cooking Facebook pages going crazy. And then people sponsor them. It's like, oh, it's like, cook with our noodles. Cook with my spatula. Cook with this. And now they're making bread like 200,000, like, not 200,000 probably, like 2,000 a sponsor, like, ridiculous figures. Just for doing something they would have did anyways, they're just recording it. I feel like, that might be the key. Just do something you're gonna do anyways, just record it.
Yeah, no,
or
you're
share
right.
it. Like,
that's
for
what
example,
Twitch comes from. Like, they already gaming.
Yeah. So, like, for example, that might be the key. I think I might just came across something for myself that I'm having an epiphany. It's nothing, like, it might seem weird, but it's like, it's true though. If you just do what you like to do and record it, you're gonna find people that's gonna watch your stuff, and you can stay yourself instead of having to do something wild.
To tie that in with the shaking the assets, that's what a lot of people are doing with OnlyFans. Because
I mean, that's media content creation.
Absolutely,
that's actually that's the highest tier of content creation, I would say,
and
in terms of monetary value.
Absolutely, bro. People post like their figures, how much they're making, and it's like I don't want to say hundreds of thousands. But thousands of dollars for literally doing what they were already doing. Maybe to a different degree. And now it's like a public, maybe slightly more professional.
Like, there's no reason I'm just going to keep sending Jimmy these assets. I'm going to just broadcast it to the world. Just got to pay $29.99. That's like, fair, though. It's fair.
It'll be like, I think it's like a smaller fee, like a month. Yeah. And then now they're even getting to recurrent revenue, which is just genius, too.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's like a subscription-based
thing. Yeah.
So, like, they got like Jimmy, John, and Bill. John, and Bill are paying 12 times a year.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, it's absolutely
genius. Yo, bro. And they be having packages. Like, people, like, I see people advertising it, like, sign up for my OnlyFans, right? It'd be like the first month is like $9.99, right? But then you could get 6 months for like 15% off type of. So it's like, yo, this is crazy. But the thing, it's some finesse guys on there. There's some guy who has OnlyFans, but what he does is he shares, like financial information, but like some OD elite, like.
Is that popping? Like, is it
I mean, for him, because he already had a large following, so he's like, yo, I'm having exclusive content. If you want to see it, you gotta log into my OnlyFans.
And it's interesting that, like, I bet that's what it was originally designed for. It's OnlyFans. Like, if you want to see more of this guy, what they gotta produce, and that's what it is. But it's turned into more of a platform for
promiscuous activity.
Exactly. That's a great way to say that.
The thing is, matter of fact, I'm gonna stay away from OnlyFans because I don't want a whole crowd of OnlyFans.
That's just one example of.
But it's like, yo, it's interesting because it's definitely content creation too. If you could find I want to see somebody find a strategic way to make a breach on OnlyFans,
make
a large amount of money without showing assets. Besides that one,
but people are doing that as well. There are girls who they already have a large following. They have assets clearly, and then they'll like say they won't do anything more promiscuous or like too explicit, but it's just slightly more promiscuous. And people are John, Billy, especially like, dude, people are eating that up.
Yeah, no.
Especially using
I should probably put that on the list.
different platforms to what's the right word? Drive traffic from one platform to another. There'll be girls on Twitch, IG, TikTok, and OnlyFans. Now that's a business model.
That's a fact.
So it's genius.
The thing is, TikTok, I feel like right now, in terms of like the perfect start, is like we can. I feel like I'm giving OnlyFans people like the perfect blueprint, but it's like if you show your assets on TikTok, you can literally grow probably ridiculously fast.
They know that.
And then you just drive that traffic to the OF.
Absolutely.
Then the OF is popping, making about $10K a month off the OF. Then you could make some investments, invest in the stock market. Now that's
hop
sick,
on the hub
bro.
too while you at it.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course. But
if you top OF, then maybe you go to the hub.
The point is, like, there's so many platforms, and if you're just creative enough, there's actually one guy. I saw was on TikTok on the hub he has no explicit content at all, right?
Oh, I feel like I know what you're talking about.
Yo, and so the name of the video would be like, white guy absolutely gives water to passed out girl. And all the videos is just giving her water, like, oh, you good? Like, millions of views.
It's funny, it's like, why is this even here?
It's hilarious, but it's like spinning off of like that title creation.
Yeah.
But on top of that, it just illustrates like using creativity to
drive views, basically, yeah.
On whatever platform.
It's tough. Content creation is definitely a big space. And we got to get into this too. Cause I feel like another space I'm seeing right now more frequently than I would prefer is real estate wholesaling. And I feel like we dabbled into it, and I don't even want to get too much into it, but I mean, I'm just putting it out there because it's a market that I'm seeing a lot of space. I won't be completely honest, I never did it before, so I cannot speak on it. But people is talking about they making $20K off of one little deal, $30K. So I feel like it would be wrong of me not to share this opportunity with people. And there's some kid who's like 18. He's like he's making $100K a month off of real estate wholesale.
That seems aggressive, but I don't knock it just off of like if you only landed one deal in wholesale real estate, you'd come away with at minimum $5K.
Yeah, man, yeah, facts.
And that's off of one deal. So if you made that a full-time profession and you just keep grinding it out, you could possibly reach $100K a month, I guess.
The thing is, the job to me, I feel like it's like any sales job. It's like you gotta just call mad heads. But I mean, if you're 18, he said it, like, he calls like 400 people a day. If you're calling 400 people a day, you deserve $100K a month, I would say. So I feel like it's a good opportunity, but you got to be built for it.
The biggest thing about wholesale real estate is that not enough people know about it yet. If you do your research, your due diligence, and you're willing to put in the grind, it could pan out.
Yeah, the thing is, I feel like I wouldn't even mind like trying something like that. It's just I feel like it's difficult in New York. I feel like in certain other places, I feel like New York has so many realtors that like if you were to try to find some like low key deal, it would be so hard. But like, if you live in I think this kid like literally lives in like some random town. If you live in some random town where like not that many realtors are, you're gonna be able to find a distressed property at a larger rate.
Yeah, I'd say if you don't live in a large city, you could do it.
Yeah.
Effectively and efficiently.
There's some guy that who's saying like you could do it like virtually. I don't know how that works. Like he just goes.
Yeah,
on.
I heard about that as well. I don't.
It seems a little too difficult for me.
Maybe if you already had a few deals and you're ready, like you're a reputable source for like wholesale real estate, you could do that. But to start out initially, I would advise that you be somewhere where there's not a lot of apartments or a lot of like apartment complexes. You want to be in like a suburb somewhere, or if not, just not a large city.
I really wonder if there's somebody. Matter of fact, this week what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for somebody who do it in New York. I feel like if I can find somebody in New York, they probably might be interested in talking on camera or on the podcast about that. Cause I definitely gotta get more into that. And another way I'm seeing people getting money in real estate, which is a lot harder, is the fix and flip model. I think you do need a real estate license to do it though. People making bread off it. Like this guy talking about he flipped some house, made $70K. So I'm just saying, real estate, I feel like it's a good opportunity for people that are not getting into it. Also, that Airbnb girl that I should have put on this list too. Bro, she goes, signs a lease for an apartment, right? So say an apartment like this, right? If it costs her $1,000 a month to rent it, she'll be cool, right? Put it on Airbnb. Probably not good right now because COVID and stuff, but she'll put it on Airbnb, charge it for more. Like, I don't know what the mathematics would be like, but if it's like $100 a night and it would book the whole time, that'd be $3,000. She pocket $2,000. She pay her $1,000 rent. That's a finesse, bro.
Yeah, nah. If you have the money to get into that space, and that's reoccurring dividends off of holding real estate for sure. There is a slight initial investment that that's a barrier to entry for some people. But once you're past that, and like if you have a space that's unused, or you even you have the opportunity to get a space that you won't be using, great way to make money for sure.
Nah, but the reason I like it as a finesse is because like yo, she literally renting the apartment but re-renting a rental. How are you re-renting out a rental?
Yeah,
That's
I don't know
fire.
about that. That sounds kind of.
And the thing is like, yo, one like the girl who's talking about it, I'm like, yo, she's a hustler. I can just tell like her whole vibe. She's gonna get it regardless. And that's what got me hype about that. But now my favorite aspect right now, the third industry. So the first industry we covered was media and content creation. Get out there, be on your phone, be on whatever platform. If you feel like you have something that you like to talk about, just do it. You really have nothing to lose. You post it, it gets views or it don't. You really have nothing to lose. You can delete it. It might still resurface somewhere, but you can hopefully delete it. So we talked about media, content creation. We talked about real estate. And the third industry that I feel like is going crazy, you know already, is e-commerce and e-products.
Of course.
Let's talk about it.
I mean, revolutionary idea. Like, stocks alone, just I'm a stock guy. You look at Shopify on the market, it's flying up. The reason why is because instead of the olden days, back in the day when you had to hold the item, you want to sell it, you got to go through inventory costs, maintenance costs, shipping costs. You couldn't have like a large inventory unless you were willing to put in money to hold all that stuff. Now with e-commerce, it's commerce made digital. So instead of holding it, you could just have the rights to a product electronic or online and be able to sell something without holding it.
That's fire.
Long story short, it's like China's making a bunch of these products. If I want to sell X product that costs like $5 for China to make and to ship out, these large companies out there, Nike, Adidas, they're already doing this, and then they're upselling it to you for a larger price and taking the cut, which is the difference in between. Now with e-commerce, like you have the opportunity to do exactly that.
Nah, it's fire, bro. And like just to piggyback again, like I'm basically reiterating what you said, is like the fact that it's so easily accessible to everybody is what makes it elite to me. Cause like you said perfectly, people already been doing it. It's just they've been holding it actually. But now other people copying the game. It's like, oh my gosh, another dropshipping site, another this, another that. But it's like, yo, you can make money doing it. It's a lot of money in it. It's a lot of people making a lot of money in this space. So I mean, I feel like it's an opportunity that people should check out, and it's definitely difficult. It's not easy. But if it works, it works, and there's no reason not to try it.
I'd say the main thing with like all the side hustles we mentioned, like obviously these are counters or alternatives to a 9-to-5, but they take a lot of time to start up. So instead of like that daily hustle of you're going to work 9-to-5 grind, like these type of grinds take a large amount of time in the beginning until they like start to flourish. Like social media, you got to build up the following.
That's a fact.
E-commerce, you got to put a lot of work.
As we're starting to see.
Exactly. E-commerce, you got to put a lot of work into the store in the beginning. But eventually, over time, like they start to pan out to the point where you don't need to put much time into it because you already did it. That was your initial investment, pretty much.
Nah, for sure. And like one specific industry that I'm seeing like on e-commerce that's going crazy is skincare. Now I don't know why. I mean, I guess it's because like it's the type of industry that kind of fuels off of insecurity. And I feel like a lot of people might be a little insecure about like skincare aspects, like acne and stuff. So if you're having, like, I don't know, people that's in the skincare space right now are seeing ridiculous amount of growth.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Like if you have a couple blemishes and you have a product that can get rid of the blemish, why not? Like of course, I'll take that. Like it's the same way. There's a lot of hair products now that people are balding. That's the thing of the past. Like there are products to fix that. So if there's a way to improve what you think is a worse situation out of the two, then of course.
Yeah, no, because the girl who had went viral on social media, she had went viral because she made $1 million in 8 minutes. Cause like she restocked her whole store, right? She posted like, "Yo, we're live, sold out, mad fast, made $1 million in 8 minutes." Imagine that, bro.
Yeah,
it's just in skincare, and it's showing me like, bro, skincare goes. I don't know why it goes so crazy, but like I've literally seen so many. Like, even like one of the ladies I had on the podcast before, like Black Girl Sunscreen, it's basically a skincare company. Like, basically, take care of your skin, sunscreen, that. But she got like her valuation for the company is like $5 million.
Interesting.
Like when she came on the podcast, it was like she had like 30, probably not even 30. She had like 25K subscribers when she came on the podcast. Not subscribers, 25K followers on Instagram when she came on. But I checked the other day, she has 115K now. Yo, I like how she growing so fast.
Mm.
She was on a podcast in April.
Yeah, the hardest part's the beginning for sure.
She hit today at 115K. Bro, I gotta rewatch the episode myself because she might have shared something I had to see, bro.
Maybe there might be some hidden gems in there for sure.
Nah, cause I think it's just her marketing. Oh, and I forget this mean. I'm not even talk about that. But another way to get money, bro, is flipping old stuff. I was doing that earlier, like as soon as the pandemic hit. Like this app called Mercury, right?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
You take a picture of your stuff, but I mean like 300 something on there, almost 400.
Right.
Yeah. Granted, I did sell a pair of Jordans that was like 140 something. So that was like the bulk of it. But I was selling like mad random, like jeans I had, hoodies, t-shirts, whatever. I had something the other day I was supposed to ship. I didn't even ship it. It was too heavy. But like, yo, that app goes crazy. So I'm telling you, if you want to flip stuff, yo, literally just look around your house. It could be anything random. Like, people be buying the randomest stuff on it. If you see it, be like, yo, this is fire. Take a picture of it, throw it up. You never know. But just be wise with the pricing. Like, sometimes I be going crazy, like trying to charge $40 and that's really like $15. And then you lower the price, they be like, all right, bet I'll pay that. So it's just like a balance, but no, definitely that flipping is a lot.
That reminds me, there's just like some guy who he committed. He was like, I'm gonna sell this cup of sand and trade it in like for higher value until I could get a Tesla.
No way he got it.
I don't know if he got it yet, but he's like pretty close. He's like on like this. He just got like a super nice car. But it all started. He went to the beach, scooped up a grain of sand, sold that on eBay, and then just kept flipping up. So it's possible, but like all these things just take a lot of time.
I think I probably bought it himself.
He might have.
I'm trying to say though, that's fire though. But there's people who actually do that too. Like there's one guy. I remember he said like, I think it was in New York. It was like literally a similar video. He's like, he's gonna start off with this amount of money, and he's gonna try to flip it. I don't know if he made the goal, but nah, flipping. That's basically, I feel that's really all businesses though, in any aspect. It's literally just getting a product and flipping it, just repeatedly.
Either product or service, yeah.
Repeatedly and in a way that's scalable. That's really what all businesses, if you really break it down. It's just constantly flipping stuff or constantly adding value. But no, I'm telling you, check out Mercury. It's definitely a lot there. We're about to hop into something that's crazy. Reparations.
For the segment 2?
Reparations. Nah, it's not even on segment 1, segment 2. We just going, bro.
Nah, I bet.
Reparations. So basically, in the news right now, it's a lot, the trend, so it seems, is for companies to support, minorities right now. If you're not taking care of minorities right now, your business is not marketable. Nobody wants to do business with nobody that has not taken a clear stance to want to do something to help uplift minorities. So we got Trump Platinum Plus plan, right? Mm-hmm. So basically what I see from what I was able to collect or gather from the internet was basically the specifics of the deal is that there's going to be $500 billion in access to capital, meaning that if you want a loan or you want any type of money and you're a minority, the money's going to be there for you. They're going to make sure that you have that availability, which in the past was not there.
Okay.
Right? The next thing is they're creating 3 million new jobs. How? I don't know, but that's the statement made. They said that they're going to bridge historic disparities in healthcare and education. So, once again, I don't know what that means. We could probably speculate on some of those things. Then they're going to do school choice, which I like a lot. Criminal justice. Okay. Favorable trade for black farmers and manufacturers. I don't even know people farm. I think it just might be the New York in me. Or like
there's a lot of farmers.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was that big of a space, but apparently it's a lot going on there. And then they're going to make Juneteenth a national holiday. We'd love to see it. So thoughts. I had a few questions I want to dive into. People are saying that it's funny how most people on the right say that systemic racism does not exist, right? But if systemic racism does not exist, why would there be a plan that seems to tackle systemic issues?
Yeah, I mean, I can't even go too deep into answering because, like, that's just...
I'm saying it's politics, bro.
It's like, if there's a... Here's a better question. So, obviously, we're going to disregard anyone who doesn't agree with systematic racism. Like, I'll listen to your viewpoint. I'm happy to discuss. But at a certain point, if you, like, blatantly do not, like, see what's going on, systematic racism exists. I would say, here's my question. Do you think reparations, like a dollar amount, would be an appropriate way to combat systematic racism?
My thing is, it depends how specifically that dollar is used, right? Because the most important thing about racism that people like to say that why only one race black people could be racist is the power in it, right?
Mm.
And money is power, right? But if money is not putting you in a position that you could like have a business or something like that, to me, it's like what power did they really give you? Like the access to capital is like you get a loan. To me, in my personal opinion, I would say a loan does not necessarily put somebody in the position that I feel like they would need to be in. So therefore, I would say a specific dollar amount and a value of a loan doesn't do much to me.
All right, so not a loan. I'm talking cash money straight out. So let's think about it. Every American got a stimulus check for the most part. I didn't get mine yet. Whatever. There's like 325 or like 330 million Americans.
Right.
They all, let's just say 100% of Americans received it, and there's about 20% of that population is black people. So let's say the U.S. government's like, you guys want reparations? We're going to cut you a check. And if I'll, stick with me here. So the stimulus check was like 1.2K, and we already said black people were like 20%. So instead of all Americans, let's say they devoted all that money to African Americans. So it'd be 5 times the stimulus check, since 20% is 1/5 of the total population. You copy?
Yeah, I get you. I'm following you.
So then they gave us 5.6. You know what I'm saying? Like around roughly 6K. Would that be enough? Would that be like an okay reparation? Like, here's cash money, 6K. Sorry for everything that happened.
You know how fast I spent 6K, bro?
Absolutely.
I would religiously run through 6K.
Yeah.
The thing is, right now, there's a lot of people, black and white, regardless, right? If you gave them a certain amount of money, they would spend that money foolishly, and it would not be beneficial to them, right? So, I think that if you was to come to a community right now that's economically disadvantaged and give them a ridiculous amount of money, I will argue that the level of financial literacy is not there for it to be beneficial or utilized in a way that's going to help people progress in life.
But the counter to that is giving, like, choosing how that money should be spent for them would be, like, a disregard for whatever personal things are going on in each individual's lives that they could have, like, put that money to. So, like, there are single mothers over here, or someone over here trying to pay for, like, college education. Obviously, 6K is not enough for both of those scenarios. But it's like, who should have control? Should it just be up to them completely? Or is any dollar amount never going to be worth it?
The thing about any dollar amount now is not going to be worth it for the main reason that wealth is a time game. So the more time you have, the more wealth you're gonna have. So even if you give somebody right now, like the same amount of money, like you say you give somebody now 100K, right? You're still competing with somebody who had so much time to accrue wealth that if it's like they're going to have more money than you regardless. If you guys both invest in the same fund and somebody's investing 10 million, you're investing 100K, that person is going to accrue wealth way faster than you. It just because wealth is a time game.
Yeah, but on a time graph. That person who just received the 100K is now light years ahead of where they would have been prior to if they had never received it all.
Nah, for sure. But it's never going to be equal, though.
And that's
so then what's the point? If the whole point is equality, it's never going to be equal. Unless you give somebody the same 10 million, then that's technically equal.
So you're saying even because it will never be equal, the 100K would, like, let's say they were like,
obviously it would be good. I'm not going to say it wouldn't be good. Like, it will still do something. But if your whole premise is like trying to make it a level playing ground, you can't make it a level playing ground unless you want to dish out like literally trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars.
I mean, you make a valid point. I would low key settle for 100K.
I would definitely settle for it too. Don't get me wrong.
But here's the problem with that as well. Afterwards, I feel like any sort of race issue that like it comes up to the mainstream or whatever, wherever you see it, they'd be like, "Yo, we already paid reparations, bro. You can't talk. We settled reparations. We cashed out the check." Like,
but then it's always gonna be that one person that's gonna come and be like, "Listen, it's still not fair. Even though they gave us this, what they need to do is they need to pause white people from making money for 400 years, and then at that point, reparations are fully done. So it's never gonna be money. It's literally time. Like,
but you can't. We already know that's something that's. So then, what's the solution for it?
It's literally no solution, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's literally no like objective like one solution. It's like people try to find like affirmative action as a way to fix it. People say making sure that there's certain racial quotas, which I might support fully depending on what the situation is. Some people might think of those as sort of smaller ways to fix it, but in terms of like an actual dollar amount, there's no dollar amount Because even like I said before, if you give somebody 100K now, the time that they have is still gonna be equal to the time that somebody else had, right? If you sold your grandma's house for 250K, that like in 2000, right? And now you put that in the market, you have 20 years of your grandma's house that was fire, right? But then most people who are in African American community they're not passing on 250,000 to the next generation. They might not even pass on anything, if anything at all, right? So it's like the time aspect and like certain factors like that. I feel like is nothing you can do. You can't fix it, bro. It's a situation where it's just like
We can't fix it today. We can't fix tomorrow, and we can't even fix it within the next 5 years. But I think taking those steps, even if it like 100K is outrageous, like that would never happen in a million years. But let's say they do that, like that might fix some issues here, some issues there. That definitely wouldn't be a web net to capture all the issues that exist today. But over time, just like tackling at like this monument of a problem, honestly. I think over time, then you would start to see like generational changes. But yeah, I agree with you. The amount of time lost has created a situation where there's nothing we can do today to fix it, but there is something we can do daily to at least remain hopeful that one day things will change. But yeah, no, I agree with your point completely.
And even to like tie it back into like what we're talking about, like market opportunities and like how it's like entry level market opportunities and there's like real wealth building opportunities. There's some people right now in society that don't even have to worry about entry level opportunities. Like they're probably like 19, go to their dad like, Dad, I want to build an app. That's a true wealth building opportunity. Or like, Dad, like there's this financial tech, like this fintech idea I have. Like, can you help me like fund it? Yeah, sure, son. That's literally wealth building opportunities to like the max. So we're gonna get to some of those like spaces later. But most people like in the African American community, they're looking for the entry level opportunities. Like whether it's like media, content creation, whether it's real estate, whether it's whatever. Anyway, they can hustle their way into an opportunity that could then further make them wealth. You feel me?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But that's why I think like the Platinum Plus plan, I feel like is good politically. Like yeah, it's nice politics, but it's like you can't. There's nothing you can actually do in a way of reparations that's going to, me personally, fix time unless you're literally dumping like a ridiculous amount of money into that economy.
Which like that would just honestly cause arguments on the other side. Like,
and it would literally tank America. Like if you put in like 100 trillion, which I would think it would be more than that probably.
Nah, you can't. We can't afford 100 trillion. We couldn't afford 100 trillion in the next 20 years.
But we can't even afford this little 1.8 that they're arguing right now in Congress right about the second stimulus.
Yeah.
You would have to literally give African American people at least like 250K a person.
That's crazy.
At least, bro.
That's crazy.
Bro, people be selling.
I'm down for that.
People be selling homes for like 300K when their great grandma passed away. That's a ridiculous amount of money, bro. And they were stopping people at a certain time with redlining and things from even getting a crib.
But that's still not the majority of America. Like,
nah, for sure.
The average household income is still like 34, and like I said before, we're only like 20%. So like, there's obviously still a lot on the other side of the aisle who aren't making that much. But the people at the top, for sure, are flipping homes for a couple milli like it's nothing.
Now, the thing is, and I was just watching, if you have Hulu right now, you got to watch Underground. It's a great series that talks about, like, building wealth, right? So, basically, there's a lot of families right now, low-key, that are so rich because of slavery. And that's why people get so mad, like, in terms of, like, this whole argument of wealth. Because it's like, yo, your family literally had their wealth off of the fact that you had a plantation, that you were selling people like they were stocks. You know, that's a fact. In the thing they were showing, it was like, yo, they'll buy like a little kid, like, I think it's gonna be a big boy one day. Yeah. Buy him for like 600, sell boy for like, I'm just putting today's number. Buy him for like 600, put it in like selling for like 20K. It's like, dang, that was a good return on my investment.
Nah, definitely. There would even be like auction blocks. Obviously, this dude.
That's one who's mad. That's why people get dumb tight about like wealth stuff. It's like, yo, you was really making money off the back of a human being.
Yeah, nah, everyone should be cognizant of that and upset about it as well. The only problem that lies there is when people are like directly mad at individuals today. For sure. Because like obviously, I mean, they were born just like me and you. Like one might have been more fortunate, or one's background might have been more tarnishing. But absolutely, that's something everyone should be upset about.
No, for sure. And like even on the same topic of reparations, J.P. Morgan, they got like a $30 billion plan to close the wealth gap, or like to deal with racial inequality. But that was it. My thing for this J.P. Morgan situation was I felt like it was heavy. It was loan heavy, right? And there's already a stigma that might be factually proven in certain ways that like when it comes to loans, black people just have lower credit scores, right? I'm not saying there's no fault to anybody in the black community, but if it's a situation where you're just trying to throw a whole bunch of loans out there, I feel like that could possibly do more damage than good.
Yeah, I mean, loans obviously come as pros and cons. I got the money now. I got to pay at some point in the future. There's no promise that just because I have this excess money right now that I'm going to be able to pay in the future. So it's tough because on one hand, it's good that they were able to get that excess cash to do what they need to do. But on the other hand, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that the future is going to be, like, brighter. And I don't really know, like, better alternatives to loans. Obviously, like, a stimulus check's just no ties. You just take this money. But for something this large, I don't know how else you could do it.
Let's go through the specifics real quick. Specifics of the deal is they're going to spend $30 billion over 5 years, so basically $6 billion a year. They're going to do $8 billion towards mortgages for 40,000 black and Latino home buyers. They're going to do $14 billion to finance 100,000 affordable housing units, $2 billion towards business in majority black and Latino communities, and $2 billion in philanthropic capital.
Okay.
What I'm liking off rip is the $2 billion in philanthropic capital.
Why? What does that really mean?
I mean, basically, they're going to just give money to charities that help the black and Latino community, right? I like that because it's just free money. There's no contingencies on it. There's no you got to give us anything in return. It's just like, yo, just straight you can have this, right? Secondly, I love the small businesses, right? Because if we have a business, right, we want to start it up, and we need capital, say you need a little 50,000, right, to start this up, a little whatever. That's a lot. That's good, especially if you're a real hustler and somebody give you 50K, you could probably turn that into a lot.
Right? And I really like that $14 billion to affordable housing. I mean, for those not familiar, like affordable housing will give you like a 2-bedroom apartment in New York City for like $1,100 a month, which in New York City is like an absolute steal.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So, in terms of being able to give money to people, being able to save money on rent month after month, that's one of the best ways to do it. So I really like, and that's that's the majority
of money, yeah, about half.
Interesting thing about the $2 billion to whoa, I'm not saying that word exactly. On the charitable contributions, they could write that off.
Oh, sure. I didn't even think about that.
They could write that off. I'm surprised they didn't put a little bit more in there.
I really didn't think about that. There was some money that's unaccounted for. Even if you add this up, it don't even hit 30. But there was some money they said they don't know what they're doing with it yet, but they still got it. Hopefully that does something else like that. But questions I had was, is there a level of transparency for outsiders to see? Would you want to know if they follow through, basically?
I mean, a company that big, I assume is gonna follow through. Obviously, like 2 weeks ago, we like talked about how they were like manipulating the market. So like, they do have a tendency to dive into some sketchy practices. But I would assume for something like this, it'll be all right. Will there be transparency? I don't know. Like, will there be like a log of like accounts receivables of where this money's going? I doubt it. But I would assume most of this is gonna go. I'd be more interested in seeing where the charitable contributions are going.
Nah, yeah, I want to know. I want to know everything that's going on. Because the thing is, if you're gonna come on the media talking about some $30 billion plan, right? I want to know if you follow through, especially J.P. Morgan, right? Because it's like, yo, people just come all companies. Not I don't even mean to throw J.P. Morgan under the bus, right? It's just the example right here. But any company who coming out making this statement, I would like to see some type of. You don't have to like publish it in the news, but like if it's on your website, like, yo, this is what we did. Cause it's like if you're gonna come out to say you're supporting the cause, I want to see you actually supporting the cause.
Something just clicked in my head. How much did they get fined 2 weeks ago?
Dang. Oh, it was 920 million. I think I said 220 million.
920
million.
What if this is some sort of scheme? They got all this good stuff in the back. I love what they do. I love it. Then the $2 billion, that 900 million is nothing. They just wrote off $2 billion that they don't have to.
That's
I'm gonna have to do some dive into the financials.
That's why you gotta start really getting into what's going on here, because it's like some of these companies just be doing. I didn't even think about the write-off.
It's
I just
also
get me tight not thinking about it. And another question I had that ties into that was like, who's measuring the results of these initiatives? Like, is it like a group at like J.P. Morgan. I would assume it's probably the diversity and inclusion wing.
Yeah.
That probably would handle some type of initiative like this.
Yeah, there's definitely a team doing
For sure.
this. I don't know how they even measure it. I don't know how they would measure
It's money. I feel like with the money, you gotta have receipts. You can't buy nothing without a receipt.
They might have receipts, but like, can they say like, oh, so the $2 billion where that was given to charity, like X charity had 27% more of this or that. Like, I don't know how they measure the results.
No, I don't even want to measure the results. I just want to make sure that they spend the $30 billion. Because it's gonna be hard to measure like. If this affected somebody's life, if this helped this, like the actual like practical benefits or practical results, you can't measure. I just want to see if they spend the $30 billion.
That'll be up to the big four and the audits when auditing season comes around.
The big banks they're doing kind of bad with these funds. I feel like Goldman just had to pay like $29 million for something.
Really?
Some wild stuff, bro. But the last thing we're gonna talk about today, right, is the best wealth building opportunities. So in terms of like what markets do you feel like right now is like if you wanted to be a billionaire, you should hop in that market?
Like out of everything we've discussed, or
you come with even different markets.
If you want to become a billionaire today,
what type of company would you start?
Oh, okay. What type of company would I start?
It could be industry or a specific company.
Very interesting. I'm gonna need a sec to think about that. I didn't see that one coming, but I'd be curious to see your response while I think about that.
I was thinking the number one space.
Actually, no, I got it.
Okay, I got you. Let me see.
Well, the problem is it's not that easy to get into.
Okay,
but it'd be biopharmaceuticals.
I was even thinking about biopharmaceuticals.
There's massive debates today about healthcare. That's what the title is today. We're gonna look back at this video in 5 years and be like, I called it. But like, healthcare is obviously a big debate today. A lot of issues. Where it's gonna like lead to, especially with finance turning into fintech, healthcare is gonna turn into this whole new biopharmaceutical space as we see like new revolutionary technologies, like absolutely.
So biotech, really.
Biotech, exactly. But and I think the coronavirus cure is gonna be like the first step of that. Like you're seeing all these like privately owned companies coming together to like create something that's like for the good of human health. But as time goes on, then we're gonna see like robotic arms and legs. That's obvious. Just maybe 5-10 years down the road, who knows? But I think in terms of an industry that's someplace now and has the largest ceiling for growth, I'd say biotech.
Yeah, I kind of cheated then. I just said tech overall.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely shit.
Tech overall is kind of cheating because there's a lot of stuff in tech. But I feel like right now, if you were focusing on a way that you want to make billions and billions of dollars, it has to be something in the tech space.
I mean, tech is, I guess, different from biotech in a sense.
In
a sense.
So biotech is like a...
It's tech coming to healthcare, yeah.
So it's like a sector. I feel like it's a better answer because it's more refined. That's like if somebody asks you a question, you just pick like the whole wide arsenal. It's like, I mean, I guess you're technically correct, but it's like you ain't give really a specific answer. But yeah, biotech is actually a beast answer. Can't even think about that. Because for a fact, some of those companies be making like billions and billions fast, bro. Fast.
Especially the stuff that's about to be coming out with biotech, stuff that like it's just not on a day-to-day basis we're informed with. Like, I know about what Nicki Minaj is doing, but you don't know about some of these revolutionary technologies that are coming to light because they got to go through multiple phases, there's trials. They obviously don't come to mainstream to us ready.
You know the one pill that I always wish that they had?
The Lemless pill?
Nah, not even that, bro. It's mad weird. I wish there was a pill that I didn't have to wear a jacket, that I could come outside in the winter in shorts and a t-shirt. I don't know why. Like, even since I was a kid, bro, I always had this idea, like, there needs to be some type of pill where it's like, it will, I don't know if it like raise my body temperature a little bit or whatever the pill does, but it's like, I could just come outside with less clothes. Like, I don't have to wear a heavy jacket. I don't have to do all this. Like, it's cold outside, but it's cool. Pop my pill, it's good for 12 hours. Let me go do what I got to do in my shorts and a t-shirt.
You might need to cut that out. That might be a revolutionary idea, bro.
That's not
bad.
But that's what I was thinking about.
That's very outside the box, though, but it kind of makes sense.
That'd be fire,
I never
bro.
thought about something
Call it like the Ignite pill or something like that. Some nonsense like that. Now, that's what I'm thinking would be fire. But that's a little side note. I mean,
that's biotech, though.
I know. Somebody wants to steal that idea. Just give me credit, man. I don't even care at this point. But another space I'm seeing is, we already talk about every podcast because it's wild. Data, bro. If you could find a way to get into like macro data collection, whatever way you do it, it's billions of dollars there.
Yeah,
Which is still kind of
especially
tech though.
being able to use it to like suit your own needs. Like Google got in trouble because they were like able to compile so much data and then use it to better their platform. Like that was the biggest thing. Is like how you can use data to like set yourself way above the competition, and it just illustrates the power of data to be able to give you the opportunity to even do that. So yeah, data's going places, has been for the past 10 years, and
that's a fact. And one space I think too that's kind of low key is logistics, and I feel like it's not being focused on.
actually elaborate.
For example, we spoke about earlier in the fact that entry level opportunities is e-commerce, right? But e-commerce business can only scale as well as the logistics is, right? So a lot of companies, what they're doing right now is, say for example, you don't hold revenue, right? I mean, you don't hold inventory, right? You have a job shipping company, right? But you want to speed up the way that you ship in the United States. They'll ship it to a logistics warehouse, right? And that logistics warehouse will fulfill all their orders from there. So I feel like as we get closer and closer towards like everything being online, everything being specifically
supply
e-commerce, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But I feel like if you go buy a warehouse and you start hitting up a whole bunch of e-commerce spaces, like yo, don't even worry about shipping anything. Just send your package straight to us. We'll handle everything else, right?
Yeah.
Even I feel like even if you could find any way to do that, I feel like that's a space that is scalable. One, and you could probably make a decent amount of money in it. Because there's so many people that have e-commerce stores that probably would love to not have to ship their stuff individually. They would love for somebody to say, like, we'll do it for you.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Supply chain is definitely blowing up, especially like just the trend of like globalization. Like, it's becoming more acceptable for all countries around the world to help each other out with products. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all humans that just want to fulfill our needs or whatever. Supply chain is definitely tied into logistics, so I see that going.
And look at
going well.
Amazon, bro. Amazon is basically, if you really look at what Amazon is just a beast logistics company. Because the fact that they could get you a package in 2 days is because the logistics is like this. They have warehouses everywhere, super staffed warehouses. The logistics is crazy. They're shipping everything super fast. They have like 1,000,001 vans. That's Amazon Prime. It's like the logistics is, nobody's beating Amazon logistics right now. But I still think there's an opportunity because not as on a smaller scale, you probably cannot get to like the Amazon level.
I don't know if there's any opportunity.
You don't feel so?
Not well, at least not
'Cause the thing is,
specifically in how Amazon's handling it.
Yeah.
Like Bezos he's taken over. He like Loki might be like one of the most like the richest person in the world.
Yeah, Bezos gets into biotech or any tech, like more tech than he is already in.
Oh, he will.
It's gonna
He
be.
will. He definitely will.
Bro, I remember I was watching the video. Bezos talking about he wants to have a Earth in space.
I bet.
Like he said, he wants to have a pod that you could live on, like a lot of people basically, in space.
Yeah.
This guy. I think he's coming for Elon next, bro.
I mean, when I think of Bezos, I immediately think of Elon Musk next. So makes sense.
Head to head. Let's talk about it. Head to head. Bezos versus Elon Musk. Who you got? An intellectual conversation. If there was an intellectual conversation and somebody had to win the conversation, who you got, Bezos or Musk?
Bro. My boy Elon's a different breed. Like, he was born different. Like, he's just not like any other person. Bezos knows how to make money. He's shown that. He's going to continue to make money. He's going to continue to be a beast. But my boy Elon, like, I remember he had an interview. He was like, yeah, when I was a child, like, I would just continue to think of, like, solutions to all these crazy problems. And then, like, it wasn't until I talked to other people that I realized everyone doesn't think like that. Like, so he's just a different breed. So I take Elon. But money, like cash for cash, obviously, I bet Bezos has more right now.
But I think Bezos has more right now, but Elon is playing a very, very long-term game that I don't think he's playing on. So I feel like in that regard, he might be playing chess while Bezos is playing checkers.
Bro, does Bezos have a kid? Look up his kid's name.
Jeff
See if he has a
Bezos?
kid.
I think he has two.
Oh, really?
Nah, actually, he might have none.
Regardless, even Elon named his kid XAE12, bro. He's a different breed, bro.
He has 4. Yo, somebody. Matter of fact, I might go say this on podcast. But somebody basically knew his daughter, and it was some controversy.
Yeah, I see where I was going.
But yeah, he got 4. It says
adopted from China. That's sketchy.
3 sons and a couple has adopted 1 daughter from China. Sketchy. Yeah, I think that might have been the one.
So.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't his daughter. It was his niece. But we're not even gonna get into that story. That's for off the podcast. But yeah, no, it's a lot going on there.
Yeah, Musk, different breed. He's probably not even human, honestly. Like,
nah, it's really wild. But yeah, nah, that's really all I have for today, bro. In terms, it was okay, a lot of information.
Nah, we definitely broke into a lot of different subjects there. Definitely blessed a lot of people with different information. I mean, we haven't gone deep into everything, but at the very least, we've shone light on a multitude of different topics for you to either dig deeper on, or if there's any specific one that is clearly has a lot of interest, then we can go deeper. But we've just shone a lot of light on a couple different topics here.
And that helps us too, because then we can see like what if there's a specific area that people tune into more, then we can dive deeper in there. But I feel like if you're information fiend, like how we fiend for information, you'd probably be interested to hear about all that stuff. Oh, but one thing we didn't touch on that I should touch on earlier, that I won't touch on now, Amazon Studios and this Coming to America thing.
Because tell me about that. I don't really.
Basically, Coming to America 2 is coming out, and basically the first one kind of went crazy when it first originally came out. Older generation, they loved it, right? So now they want to release the Coming to America 2, and with COVID and all the stuff that's going on right now, and they're not having theaters, what the producers of the show did was like, matter of fact, we're going to skip this whole cinema, box office opening nonsense. We're going straight to Amazon. And they sold it for $125 million to Amazon. Could they possibly could have made more in the box office. Who knows? They possibly could have. But I feel like this right here is safe money.
This is 100% safe money. Theaters are closed for the most part. It's already a risk to go to theaters, see how much it makes in the box.
Yeah.
$125 million seems like a lot for a movie with, like, there's no actual sales, so this is all like implied value. But for a movie like this, clearly it was popular with the older generation. I can see that being worth it.
Yeah, I'm trying
to
think
What are your thoughts on like them selling it to Amazon instead of either waiting for theaters to come out or letting it be available on a bunch of different platforms?
That's where the world is going to me. Theaters, you're done for. Anything in person, you're done for, really. That's how I think about it. I feel like a lot of things in person, COVID-19 is showing people, there's a lot of things you don't need to do in person. Same way I could go to the AMC and watch a movie, same way I could come home and watch a movie. But right now, it's going to become a bidding war. That's what it's going to come down to. Say today we want to make a little movie, right? Made a movie. Now we got options. I want to go to Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon, whatever random other streaming companies come out, right? It's like, where am I taking my talents, right? So now people got to bid. Amazon always going to have the heftiest budget than others, because Amazon doesn't only do this. That's basically Amazon little friend is like, Amazon Studios. Yeah, what I need? How much? Bro, Jeff, right? They're gonna come in with a ridiculous amount of money and drop anybody else out. That's how they're able to do the stuff they're doing. Amazon just also did the deal with this NFL to stream one of the new wild card games, right? CBS paying $70 million for one game. This is literally just to stream one game. Comcast, $75 million for the other one, right? Amazon's like, yeah, whatever. We'll hop in the mix, right? Amazon just hopping in every mix because they got the money and they don't care. And they're literally showing like, yo, we could crush any industry we want right now.
Yeah, Amazon's dangerous. Amazon's dangerous. There's not much more to be said there. I mean, obviously NFL makes a lot of money, so like that's a worthy investment. People love NFL, especially. There's not a lot of sports going on. NBA was kind of, I don't know if you tuned into the Heat Lakers series. Like normally I would watch the series. I knew the Lakers were gonna win.
Yeah.
So there was no point even watching. But NFL, however, is still interesting. It's still grabbing the big bucks. But, yeah, I mean, Amazon's dangerous, bro. They're dangerous.
Nah, that's all I'm saying, bro. And the fact that they hop in this, like, it don't make no sense, bro. Amazon starts up as a book company, bro. Not a Netflix 2.0. Like, this guy just doesn't care. He literally hops into whatever industry he wants to. When he hops into healthcare, don't get mad at him. Because he's going to probably do it tomorrow. He probably already started building the foundation right now. Started selling like a little bit of stuff, like Amazon selling Amazon Advil type vibes, right? Started off small. Then I got pain relievers, ibuprofen. Next thing you know, guys selling whole cures for,
That Amazon ibuprofen, I'm with it.
Bro,
Amazon Prime exclusive,
I really see it.
Acetaminophen.
Be like, yo, and then it's like next day delivery. Your headache is gone. Not even 1 hour delivery. Your headache is gone an hour.
Ooh, I kind of like that. Like, instead of going to your CVS
to your
for
pharmacy.
Like meds. Ooh, they might need to hop in that space.
They going to, bro. They don't care. They don't care. Whatever you want to do, Amazon can do it better than you. I hate to tell you this. Any industry you want to get into, Amazon can do it better than you unless it's OnlyFans. If it's OnlyFans, that's the only industry you can go into, and Amazon's not going to do better than you.
I don't know, bro. Nah,
Jeff?
Yeah.
Imagine Now, the thing about it, he got like a whole ring of people. Like, an OnlyFans. Nah, see that? I don't even know. He probably got hop into it.
A deeper episode, yeah.
He probably gave a hop into it. But, nah, I say, we're going to have to wrap it up for today. That's the industries. Just to give a brief overview again, what we talked about. Best entry-level industries, we had media, right?
Media, we went to Twitch, TikTok, Instagram,
Exactly.
OnlyFans even. I just said Twitch.
Yeah.
Outside of media, what else did we get into?
We had real estate. We had wholesaling, flipping.
Yep. E-commerce.
Oh, yeah. Then we had e-commerce, beastly industry. That's like entry level. Like people, if you're looking for like some ways to make, like that's a good side hustle spaces, basically, right? But then like the huge wealth building space, tech, anything tech really.
Yeah.
If you could do anything tech, it's a lot of opportunity there. Whether it's like coding, design, whatever it is you do, tech is a huge opportunity for wealth.
If you could find like an interest of yours that aligns with tech, and you did the research, and then you're like, damn, this is taking like 2-3 years, do it.
That's a fact. And it could be really anything. Like even if you like basketball, there's probably some type of basketball technology that you could kind of find that like you're playing some like fake little robot.
Yeah, I mean, even analytics, like basketball analytics. You could be a big basketball fan, but maybe you don't play. You get into basketball analytics. You could have been the guy who was like, oh, Lakers win in 6, 4-2, instead of everyone who's like, Lakers win in 5. Because you know a little bit something about it. That's tech as well.
Oh, yeah, no, it's definitely a lot of opportunities there. But, yo, thank you for tuning into this episode today. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like the video. We got to start saying that in the beginning, bro. Because at the end, nobody makes that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And, we're going to keep putting out the content, keep doing our research, keep coming with the heat. Honestly, we're going to just start packing the podcast with mad information. I feel like that's just the only way we're going to be able to see what people want to tune into. And, yeah, that's it for this week. If you liked it, share it with a friend. If you don't like it, well, I don't like you. And we're out.